with Counselor Debby, starting on Saturday, every Saturday, 8 a.m. For adverts and sponsorship, please contact 026 381 6967. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone out there. This is your favorite host, Counselor Debby, online live with you. And today happens to be a very special day because we are grateful for how God has begun with us in this place. And we are most grateful for the journey from January to February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. God has been so good to us. Yes, so Him alone deserves all our praise. Because if you come to look at it, beginning from January, economically, in fact, around the whole wide world, the nations of the world, there have been challenges here and there, but yet, you and I, we are still standing by the grace God has given unto us. So we have every reason to give God praise. There's this song that says, count your blessing, name them one by one. If you begin to count your blessing and you begin to name them one by one, it will surprise you what the Lord has done. You may not have all the money you ought to think you have in your bank account, but you have life, you have health, your kidneys are working, your livers, your heart, every part of your body is working. You can see, you can talk, you can see. All those things are things money cannot buy. So that's why we have every reason to give God praise. So today is the last program also for the year 2024, and that's why we are grateful for what God has done. I want to begin by sharing this morning something that is very, very important, how as couples we can understand ourselves better. Because I believe if this area it's rectified, if this area is tackled very well, most other areas of our life will be fine. Because why? If you have peace at home, you have peace with your spouse, that's the best companion, the person that you see day in, day out, then you are sure to be able to be productive, you'll be able to be, to have strength, energy to do a lot of things. So that's why it's very important. So today is that time again. You call your friends, call your neighbors, call everyone around you so that they can be part of what we are doing today. And we want to say that let your comments keep coming today. I'm going to be reading some of the questions live. So if you are listening, if there's a question you want to ask, you can begin to send in your comments. We are going to give the latter parts of today's program to that, to be able to answer your questions. Sometimes as many people that ask questions and consult, we actually, we respond to them. And I want you to know that I am also a very certified family and marriage therapist, because we know a lot of people are hurting. Aside what you are going to be hearing here, there's still some more things you may need to want to share with a counselor. If you are going through depression, you are going through anxiety, you are going through social withdrawal, you are going through anything that you know it's affecting your mental health. We also have a counseling sessions with such people, clients that reach out to us. So you can reach out to us and we'll be able to help out. So today is all about couples who want our husbands and our wives and spouses to live happily together as the year is coming to an end. A lot of people have divorced. A lot of people have gone their separate ways. A lot of people have walked out of their marriages. But I want to say it's not you, and it's not going to be you. So today we are going to learn, we are going to relearn, we are going to be unlearning. So to first start with, as couples, we must become like-minded and dwell in clarity. Because the joy of the Lord over any group of people is that they be one. Even if you are in your workplace, if you have team spirit, you'll be able to achieve. If you are in a business, you have team spirit. You are one with your colleagues, with your staffs, with everyone around you, even your husband, your children, things will be able to work out well. So coming like-minded it's something that is very, very important. So that's why today we want you to know that even God says, he said, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. That's God's priority for us also, that we dwell in unity. So it's very, very important. For there the Lord commanded the blessings, even life forevermore. You can imagine, it is when we dwell in unity, it is when we dwell in harmony, that's when God will be able to bless us. If you look at men that are really being blessed in their businesses, in their work, in their careers, in all their endeavors, check out their home, check out their marriages. They have peace. I must say, any person, anyone that has peace, has it all. You may not have all the billions in your dollars, but when you have peace, you can't buy peace in the market, so it's very, very important. So also as couples, you must learn to have this at priority of your hearts as couples, having the same thoughts, thinking and feeling alike. In fact, this essentially demands listening and talking to each other, not in an atmosphere of disagreement. If you keep yelling, if you keep shouting, if you keep nagging with one another, I must tell you that, before you can come as couples together to make decisions, it will be always difficult, because when one is saying A, the other one will be saying Z. When one is saying B, the other one is saying Y. How can you move forward? How can you achieve great things? So our atmosphere must be cordial. Our atmosphere must be very, 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 it must be, there must be tranquility, there must be serenity, there must be this atmosphere of peace all around us if we really want to receive even God's blessings. So you see why we must take this as priority. Against all odds, we must be intentional to work at it. So listening to one another is very, very important. And also couples need to work at harmonizing their love objects until they come to the point of having the same love. Because it is the best if, let me start with this. Some might say, what is love object? I will explain it in a literal way. Love object is something that your spouse loves so much. To some, it might be sports. Some, they like football. No matter anything, they can be watching football. They will forget food. Some, it might be news. And the spouse might not like such thing. And before you know it, your spouse is always in his own world. And you are always in your own world. So we are saying, okay, we don't want to live in the same house, under the same roof, but yet being far apart. Being far apart with one another. So we need to begin to get to understand what is the love object of my spouse. What is my own love object? So let's begin. Love is all about sacrifice. It may not be your own thing, but you can learn to begin to explore, to also, come to terms with those love objects of your spouse. Even if it's just some few minutes, if you see that he likes football, even though you don't like football, just pretend and go and sit with him and be asking, who is that player? Hey, how many goals have they scored? And you get interested in what he likes. Before you know it, you'll be more relaxed. You'll be more welcoming. You'll be more homely. But when you don't do this, though you are talking, you're under the same roof, but there is no connectivity between you. So this is an assignment for every one of us as the year is running to an end. What is my own love object? What is my spouse's love object? So that we can come to terms and come to an agreement. So also it's an advice that it is the best if God and his kingdom are our first love object. Because you all know that God created you and I, God created your spouse and yourself. So amongst all other things, it's let God and let his kingdom, let it be your love object. So that you can serve God together. You want to go to church, you want to go to mosque, you want to go, to pray together. When you begin to pray together, there's this connection that comes also as couples. So it's very, very important that you put that also into very good consideration so that you can begin to gain each other's interest at heart. So this is the way you must go about becoming one with your partner. It's very important. You are one. It says two shall become one. So when you are two, they are supposed to be one, but yet you are two. This one loves this one loves this one, and there is no connection, there is no oneness. Then you see that things are falling apart. You can't make decisions together on time. You can't come to terms on time together, and things will be going wrong. So it's something that with intentionality and, prayers, you can begin to work at all this. Because especially for husband, you need to esteem your wife's opinion as better than yourself. Do you know there are some men that they feel that, oh, it's all about my decision, it's all about my conclusion, it's all about me. Everyone's opinion matters. So it's very important that we begin to give each other's priority in making us to have contribution in decision making in our homes, in our marriages, so as to learn what is the anchor of our mind and what is the love object of our heart and aspiration, and vice versa. So the same too goes to the man, the same too goes to the woman, so that two of you can be able to come to terms. And also, loneliness of the mind will make you to listen without interrupting each other's thoughts. It takes humility. It is those who are meek that would give attention to what their spouse is saying when the person is talking. Don't interrupt one another. Until you gain understanding into each other's point of view, it's very important that you listen without interrupting each other. So let's learn. There are so many things we have been used to. There are so many things we have been doing. But like I said, we learn, we relearn, and we unlearn. What are those bad habits? What are those things that you have been doing that has not been well pleasing? So it's important for peace to reign, for you to be peaceful in your heart. You need to begin to do these things. So it's very, very important we begin to notice all of this, because as you do this, you can imagine yourself, your spouse, you are going to become better people. Also, if you always defer to the other and accept the other's position, and probably better and wiser until it is proved otherwise, you will find communication between the two of you easy, flowing, and effective. And when this is ascertained and when this is looked into, you are so sure that there will be cordial communication. Honestly, communication is very, very important between couples, so that you can begin to make decisions together, so that you can begin to do things together, so that you can begin to, to have good decisions. Before they used to say two heads are better than one, but the norms, it has changed now. It is no longer two heads. The table has turned now. It is now two good heads are better than one. Because if you have 5 heads and the 5 heads are nonsense heads, they can't think straight, they can't think right, they can't think positive, they can't think, their logical reasoning is not effective. Then what's the point of the head? So now it is 2 good heads are better than one. I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's no longer 2 heads. It's now good. So your head should be good. The head of your spouse should be good. Even the heads of your children should be good, because as a family, as couples, the input of children also is very, very important. I remember there was a story of a very rich man, a very wealthy man that I heard of. This man wanted to start a company. He had lots of money and aspirations to start something. But guess what? He needed a name. He needed a name for this organization, and he has been thinking and he has been thinking. He had been cracking his brain. He doesn't even have an idea of what the name of this company might be. And guess what? One day he got to the house and he called the entire family and he told the children, you know what? Daddy wants to commence an organization. This is the vision. This is the idea. But one thing is lacking. I need the name for this organization so that I can register it, so that I can commence. And I've been thinking, this man has been as rich as he was for months, over 6 months. This clicks, this is good, that sounds interesting. And immediately the following day, the man went to the organization where he needed to register, and they got this business registered. And guess what? That business today is one of the high-flying business in that person's country. Imagine if this man had shut down the children, feeling, oh, what good can this child contribute, or what good can my wife contribute? So sometimes we have been blessed with people around us, but our eyes has not been open to see the advantage of people God has positioned around us. So it's that time that you need to begin to give people opportunity, give them the privilege to come around so that they can be part of you. Also, it's very important that understanding only comes when you get to the understanding of your partner. So it's important that you do this, because when you do this, you are going to ensure that, you begin to understand one another more cordially. And, you do not consider your own convenience first as couples, which is very, very important. You don't need to focus on your own idea as the most crucial. Everyone's idea is very important. This is the principle of considerateness. So you consider your spouse's idea, your spouse's input, so that you can, also enjoy out of the wisdom that they have. It's not all about us, not all about us. Let's put people first. Do not consider your own convenience first. Put your spouse first. Ensure that, you give them the right place. Consider their effort as a priority before yourself, which is very, very important. So also do this for each other, and you will discover your joints of cleaving firmer and deeply interlocked day by day. Every one of us, we are a work in progress. We are not saying by doing this within one day everything is just going to be turned around. It was a process. But gradually, with intentionality, if you begin to do this day in, day out, with focus of change in mind, because change is the only constant thing in life. And as you begin to do this, be sure and be assured and be confident that change will come. Because if you put the priority of your spouse first, I'm sure you're of better advantage. So selfishness have made people to say, I first, me first, and that has destroyed a lot of marriages. That has destroyed a lot of homes. That has destroyed a lot of unions that should have been standing. So we are going deeper, and this is to say that if a man looks for sex just when aroused, and after he has released, can you imagine itself? He holds up onto his shell again. Because sometimes this is the compartment. Okay, I'm going to do an illustration. This is the way the mind of a man is, and that's why I said the topic today is understanding your spouse better in marriage. Because if you understand this structure today, I must tell you, it's going to really, really help us. Because sometimes it's too bad if the woman only allows him to have his way while she is separate in her heart and mind. Then it is a little less than rape. Because sometimes in marriages, it's because of our body chemistry as woman, our body chemistry as man. Our body structure differs. They are different. And it's so important for us to understand this aspect, because I've come to notice that this is one crucial area that has been putting troubles in marriages. And we can't shy away for it. If we don't talk about it, people will keep hurting. So privileges and opportunity like this, we come to the here to share what we know that can be of benefit to every one of us. We are all learning. No one knows it all. No one is perfect, but we are work in progress, and we are all working towards perfection. So it's very, very important that we understand this, because it has missed its original purpose if you don't understand why a man and woman needs to come together to have this conjugal responsibility that is part of their responsibility as husband and wife. Because if not, that will be an abuse of a divine provision for the man and the woman. Because we cannot exclusively detach a man's bodily functions from the condition of his heart and mind at any given time. So it's very, very important. And it's more serious in the case of a woman. After physical sexual organs are only functional as much as the mind regulates them. Because a woman, it's different in a structure, while a man also. For a woman, our own sexuality is more attached to our own emotions, our own feelings, our own psychology. So it's very important as a man, you understand a woman's structure. As a woman, understand a man's structure. Because a woman's body will not respond to you sexually until her mind has been properly prepared for such an experience. And that is why you see that most times, if you look at the statistics, if you come to getting involved in sexual relationship, it comes more from men. Women are not more of people that are giving, except those who do it probably for, those who are allowed prostitutes that do it for money. But women that understand this, and they have to understand that they also have to satisfy their husband. If they are knowledgeable, they will begin to do what is right so that they can keep their union and above all keep their man. Because if a man does not get what he needs, you can imagine you are selling the man out. So if a woman understands this and a man also understands the woman's perspective, you'll be able to get her along. That's why it's very important that you understand the woman's emotions, her feelings, and psychology. Because as you do this, you'll be able to understand that more. Because this is it. A man's mind is structured in a compartment. I'm going to use a shelf as an illustration. If you see the bookshelf, the books, I was actually going to bring the picture of this, and probably next time I will show this to you. Just imagine as we are talking now, you've all seen books being arranged this way on shelves. They are structured in that way. That's the way the books are. So it's easy for you when you want to get a book, just by the names of the books outside placed, the way they have been placed, you'll be able to locate your book immediately. So that's why a man's mind is in a structured compartment way. So a man can handle several issues in his mind concurrently. You can imagine. A man can be thinking how I want to pay this bill, how I want to do this business before me, or how I want to speak to my colleagues tomorrow. They can handle all of that because each can be given a measured attention without interfering much with other issues. Can you imagine? Issues are arranged on his mind like books on the shelf. That's the way a man works. So if you understand this, you'll be able to understand that. Why is it that a man can quickly switch from one area to the other? But this is not the case for a woman. Do you see why I've said our structures are different? This is not the case for a woman because a woman's mind structure is like a pile in only one file case. So in this case, a woman's case is the books are just on top of one another. You have put this one here, put this one there, put this one. So the books are all in piles. Issues are piled on top of another. So it's not easy for you to easily pick something except you pick what is on top of each other. So that is why every new issue comes on top of the want of the mind. So if a woman is thinking about something at the moment, until she unloads it, she can't move to the next stage. Unlike a man, I will take it again. Every new issue comes on top on the wants of the mind before. To pull a matter up, she needs to first offload the topmost issues. So if you are saying, oh, a woman should attend to you, well, there's a lot of things that is bothering her, she won't be able to, because this is very important to know that what is bothering her at that time is what she's going to give attention to. She won't move to the next stage. Unlike a man, we said a man's structure of the mind is that books are placed this way. So the man can easily pick a book. But for a woman, the books are put on one another. So it's not easy for her to just pull up a matter like that, unlike a man. So that's why sometimes a woman gets confused. She gets depressed. You are wondering what is wrong with her. A lot of things are wrong with her, yes, because she's confused, she's depressed. And this is unlike a man. A man, his own arousal is very quick because it does not take time for him to pull up the issue from the shelf. You see the way the books are arranged for a man. You can just get there in 1 minute, he can pull out a book and slot back all other engagements on the shelf. But this is not the case for a woman. The woman's mind towards sex is very different. Yes, we are going to take it like that because that is it. If you look at the pile on her mind again, the latest is the topmost issue on her mind. it is very, very important. The latest is the topmost issue on our mind. So first, it is the readiness of our mind and emotion. And this does not just come by the fact of the demand from the husband. She needs her mind to be cleared from any pending issue for her to participate and enjoy the fact. Because it's very, very important that it is the readiness for her, the mind and emotion. So this does not just come by the fact of the demand from the husband. She needs her mind to be cleared. So anything that bothers her, she needs to clear it off from any pending issue for her to participate and enjoy the act. So if you understand this, if you let your woman enjoy this process, then you can have her 100%. Because recent issues unresolved affect the woman's mind. She cannot relax while her mind is over-pressured with sexual issues. She can't relax. So probably maybe you've hurt her, you've done something for her, and you have not even resolved it. There is no how she'll be able to be relaxed. There is no how she'll be able to be at peace, to be able to enjoy the moment. So it affects her mind. So until she begins to deal with these issues, then you can have her 100%. So in understanding him also, you as the wife also needs to see why he seems so ready. Men are always ready all the time. Switching on and switching off so fast, all in a brief period. That is the way God has created a man. That is the man's makeup. Their makeup is so fast and quick that when they are aroused, they just want to get it done and satisfy themselves, and immediately they move. But that is not like that for a woman. So husbands need to now appreciate our seemly sluggishness. So when you are getting to understand your wife in this way, you understand why she's not giving and welcoming and not so, responding to the call of what her duty should be. So you need to help one another. That's why she will tell you to wait and raise irrelevant issues for discussion. But to the man, they are irrelevant issues. But to her, they are the gateway to her release. Unless you show enough loving care as to listen. I will say this again. Men must learn to begin to take absolutely consideration to listening to their wives, to their spouse. Because this woman, she is estranged in her mind. Your touching looks irritating to her. When she has so many things that is hurting her, when she has issues bothering her, and you have not allowed her to share, you have not even given her a ear to listen to all the touches. In fact, when you are touching her, it's pinching her, she's getting so irritated. But some women will just pretend to just be, let him just. That's why I must tell you, statistics have shown that so many women just release their body, just have me and go so that I will have my peace. But they are not involving in the aspect of sexual relationship with their spouse. And if we understand this nitty-gritty and we begin to make them understand while this is happening, then I'm sure we all must embrace this knowledge and begin to change in our various ways. Something that should be enjoying, should be loving. You just notice that each time you want to touch her, she's responding, she's irritated. So she's your wife. Her body belongs to you, and your own body as a husband belongs to the wife. But it's very, very important that we need to create time to listen to each other and chat over the issues on our mind regularly. This must not be once in a while thing. Any man that does this, in fact, it will surprise you. Because I know so many men, if you ask them in their years of union together as husband and wife, how many times has your wife been the one initiating sex? This should be something that should be vice versa. It shouldn't be only the man alone that should initiate sex. The woman too should initiate sex. But why is it that women are not initiating it? Because they are so cumbersome with issues on their mind regularly, and there is no one listening to them. And that's why you see women will become gossipers. You see them gossiping because they don't have a husband at home who should be his best friend, who should have been listening to them. If you begin to listen to your wife, you give her attention, you will see all those friends she's following. She won't even have time for them. But because she will understand, I have a husband at home that gives me listening ear. I know men are not like that. Men just want to summarize issues. If you ask a man, for instance, if a man has gone for a 4 days program and he wants to report, in 10 minutes a man will summarize all this his report for you. But give a woman a platform to analyze the way her day is. Just 1 day, not 4 days. This woman will explain to you from how she woke up from the bed, how she went to brush her teeth, how she was going, and somebody looked at her in a funny way, how somebody slapped the door on her face. This woman will, because women are detailed. Women are detailed. But a man will want to be like, oh, please just get to conclusion. What are you saying? So if you begin to listen, you begin to give ear to your wife, it will surprise you. So if you spend time together alone, discussing and dealing with our issues in our mind, in an uninterrupted atmosphere, I will say that again, in an uninterrupted atmosphere, you'll be building up onto a sexual climax. You know, we tell people that sex just don't happen in the room. If you are going to have sex with your wife at night, it begins from the morning. The way you speak to her, the way you help her. When she's doing the chores, you are helping her. When she's doing this, you are by her side, giving her attention, giving her helping, and if the time, is there for you to do that. So when you need her attention on bed, she won't say no to you. But a woman that is all by herself, running helter-skelter in the house, and you are there sitting down with the phone, you are there sitting with the laptop, or you are in the office, all you know is your work, the proposals you want to write, the project you want to do. Yes, we know those things are very important. Yes, they are very important for you to do. But at the same time, you need to create out time to give attention to what is very, very important. Because this differential in the makeup of the man and woman must be understood and appreciated as a couple. You must also work together in building your conversational communication. I will say that again, conversational communication, because it must be continuous in the kitchen, in the car, when you are driving, anywhere you are, and etc. Wherever you find yourself, it's very important that you do this. And this is more crucial in making a woman ready than the physical touch of her husband. A woman you have given attention to, you are getting her ready before the day, and before you know it, you are helping her in a real way. So several women feel depressed after sex, seeing the way husband falls immediately asleep or switches off to do other things immediately. Imagine. It's so obvious. That's what most men do sometimes. Might not be all, but we are talking statistically. Some people, psychology people, have taken some data and they have questioned some women, they have questioned some men. So we are talking on data that has been researched on, and that is the conclusion. So for a woman, sexual communion does not end apparently after the climax. When a man releases, that's all, it's fine. But for a woman, it's not like that. So that's why you have to pay attention. Withdrawal must be gradual. If she still desires to lie on her back, please allow her. Sorry about that. So it's very, very important to make her to feel relaxed in the hands of her husband, even though the sexual satisfaction has been gotten to the man. But for a woman, she still wants to be in your arms. Don't stand up immediately. What does it feel like when you have had It's very important that this is very crucial for you to understand that when you do this by soft touch, soft words, and gentle care, you'll be able to understand that the woman will appreciate it more. Why not just still hold on to the dial? I'll be right back as we take this short break. Just stay tuned.
026 381 6967. Thank you.
Tiye tabiyel mang la kaso zobo karapon ne fosha banjol kana min banda pom bion wana tabra sabanle ala vlega sinem yala gandu bo susune to me butuma yila de ko san chang tabra sabanle ma polo to ma de che kaba dik pam man pina kar kula to kale to ma ala vlega sinem ko to nyu ana bo pam mango kabo puha puhro son to me tutu wana me ya shanga dem pan zan wum te tabne ni tal zan ti ala vlega sa pa ne bo bayina te che ka dibo dan fa ne zo yum pi ne shela an tabra son de bama la ngozo bayina ne promotion ne bo to wu ni tale an nan bayada ka diba tabla sa shel kamza sama pompo kai kana ala vlega sinata tiba manga gana shiru kobgo ne peni konko 180 gana sidis kayan yu atabuma yelle kamza sa zoka yoma a folda debo doctor yan fiha computer machine wo yan fiha nan gbada yan tatima hal laboratory chobe bien dor bonyele gana shiru kobgo ne peni konko kayan yu million za yen ne tusa na hambala to zo yelma zo ko mi yolozo ka so kam di ala vlega sinum promotion wo anfani to me de mala sa shedin yan nai mo mala hanyala din yan tapsonga ne biha ngone na mimir shelma zo vumr ala vlega sinema dorbonyel be dorbonyel yelle kamza sa zan changla la doroma tabbo polo ayo yola gana shiru kobga ne pehni konko 180 gana sidis ala vlega sinem shiru kana to cheka tabro sablan nan nyas madan nyanirbo pamne pagba baje be ganne ne ko harla tabro sablan timama ala vlega sibela tipoli la stop wurshena yil nyanga
Ampadi tabli ni ba yelle la da pa la ninda fa
te bihagu opune ya to ashanga bien nan talazante te zayino kam ne biya bihagu shi kamanta dan bihagu shi ko nyur sun me sabta ya to anan nan talashe mo to mar lele ta kazante te zayino kam tama de cheka bihagu shi mala jilma ka to mala la fe zanta amina sulensi to pam kulmini yel ya to ashelmo ama yiko kanu to tuli de ba bana ni vosha banyamba bi yalala tama so men bor banjir blo yin kakayiko so bono juko bilgo yinga o mi kare yiko so wonta ka nyala wata tank ko bora so bor no juma hol kakayiko mo zanyala talahayel bora to bihagu puni to de labale Baobab Microfinance Limited ba yina ta posol ne bso yelle kama yen na bi hago shebe atumashi karchan to gol sabta be ko nyurson ye to bana ta la panga ka yihela ta kama bambe tudu wana bambe North East be man progopolo ne bambe Savannah region be yogbon polo Baobab Microfinance Limited ne yina ne Baobab sabta loan yerla la panga de yen zantum sabta mi ko nyurson tuma yera ngo banda bilgo be ba ma shitore ka bada bilgo be bon ko har ne sha chan to gol sabta mi ko nyurson ye to yigbana to nye la panga wodi dinya dundon sabta be ko nyurson tuma kayen tum bana ta la panga de to sala la tuma ma tumbo ngo menon de da bilgo be akwar la sabta mi ko nyurson nema agbana nye la panga wodi la sam malbano to sa tuma ma ja su doya dama la anwar dum bier zo ma dola tanga to so hade northern region North East be Savannah region Baobab Microfinance Limited bank bilgo de mra tumni ma na ti dibu so palo ngo amfani tamal ngo butuma do zo ma biela zo bele kabamina la haji jo kadre jirami sala badan sene taba to shali bne ta nyim vol min number shedem party ngo zoma
nduma abarakatu e ayule gata bona nduma ayule gata bona
Azal Group since 1921.
Hello everyone. Relationships can be a journey of ups and downs, twists and turns.
Yeah, thank you for staying tuned and thank you for being here with us again today. So, we say for a woman to appreciate this relationship with the husband, she needs to take her time. So like I said, withdrawal must be gradual. As a man, you just don't finish and stand up immediately, you just wear your trousers. Some, they will just throw the woman's clothes on her and they will stand up and clean up and the woman is there. And sometimes the woman will be wondering, see the man that just was wooing me right now. In fact, for some men, in 5 minutes, they can begin to shout at the woman again, you have not done this, you have not done that. And there's a conflict in their mind, thinking, is this not the man that was just all over me right now? That was showing as if he loves me and all that. But right now, after he has just had his way, his attitude has just changed. So learn to understand that. Let your woman still be like, it doesn't cost you as a man when you enjoy sexual relationship with your wife, you say thank you to your wife. Thank you for satisfying me. also the woman too, it's not a crime for you to tell your husband, oh husband, thank you for satisfying me, because you are meant for one another. You are married because you are you are not boyfriends and girlfriends hiding in a corner to do this thing. You are legally endorsed to have one another, so it's your right, so appreciate it. So woman looks for ample time before the act, time in the act, and time after the act. I would explain this. For instance, a woman doesn't just get aroused like a man. You know, I would use this analogy. A man is like electric switch board on the wall. If you want to get into your room and you want to light your room, you just press pam, and your light comes up because there is bulb and your electrical system is working. Do you see that? The light in your room doesn't struggle before it gets lit up. That is the way a man's sexual arousal is. Within a GV, especially when a man sees his wife moving in the house, looking at the body structure, you know, exposing all the shapes, they get aroused. And basically, immediately, they want the wife. But this is the story of a woman. And this is the analogy or the ideology or the example I'm going to use for a woman. Electric iron. If you plug an iron, answer this question in your mind. The iron just don't get hot immediately. It takes time for the iron to get hot gradually. So that's why before you get into the real act, you must take time for foreplay, touching. Don't be in a haste. Don't rush. You are not in the hotel with a strange woman or a strange man. You are there with one another, and you are doing it in the atmosphere of your home. So there's no need to rush. Take time. Getting her aroused takes time. Unlike you as a man. For you as a man, it's just a tip, you are aroused. But for a woman, it takes a gradual process. So you need to take your time to let her cope hitherto to the level that you are. Other than that, each time you do it your way, you are only satisfying yourself. And that is why there was a statistics that was taken about how many women reach orgasm. And the percentage was less than 5%. Some women even say they don't understand what orgasm is. Some women say they have never even experienced it. They don't even know what it is. Do you know that as a man gets into this high harp when he wants to release it, a woman too is structured to also release. You will see when the woman wants to release, she will feel that way, the way the man feels. And do you know, for some women, they have never felt it in their life. For some women, it is after they have given birth to all their children, they even know what orgasm is. For them, the man is just having sex with them, they are releasing, and that's all. Just as a man is getting orgasm, a woman too must get orgasm. But for a woman to get orgasm, one, her mind must be clear. If there's anything hurting her, you have trashed it out, you've spoken about it, her mind is free. And a man, to understand this, that it takes time for her to get aroused, you take your time to ensure that you touch her gently, you get her aroused, ask questions. Talk about your sexual life. Where do you want me to touch? Which part do you like? Which part do you appreciate? Ask your wife, ask each other, what do you like? The year 2025 is coming. Don't do it the same way you have been doing it before. It's that time that you begin to have a plan into every area of your life. You may have a plan for your financial life, have a plan for your sexual life, for your spiritual life, for your business, for your children, for your family, even for your health. Everything has to be discussed. So that is why we are family, we are couples, we are one. We need to come together. So you need to think of your wife's satisfaction by waiting for your wife. I understand as a man, you are aroused, you want to just do this thing and go. But please, for the sake of the love you have for your wife, let her also enjoy this thing. And if you have any question, if you have anything bothering you, you don't understand this in details, you could reach us on our WhatsApp line. We'll make out time to do counseling session with you to have time to discuss this in details. We are limited to say some of the things on air. But if we come to the counseling room, come to the counseling section, I've told you we do cyber counseling. Anywhere you are in the world, we are just at a call. Just reach out to us. We are there to reach out to you. So if you understand this, you will see that, in fact, the children will be happy. Do you know that what we do as couples, the children are affected by it? If the husband and the wife has cordial relationship in their sexual interaction, do you know that the way you talk to one another in the room, the way you talk to another in the house, the way you relate and act with one another, the children will see it. They will observe, oh, dad and mom are happy. And do you know that when dad and mom are happy, children are happy? In fact, there was a young lady that consulted me for counseling, and it affected her in a way that because dad and mom is not happy, she can't even read. When she remembers the way dad and mom acts at home, she can't concentrate in reading. She'll begin to become sad. As she's sad, she'll begin to cry. And as she cries, what do you think? She can't study again. So it's not all about us as husband and wife, for the sake of our children. And children are learning by observation. One of the psychology scholars have said this, Badura, that children learn by observation. If your children sees that you have a happy home, they too, they would long to desire to get into relationship one day, to have a wonderful husband so that they too, they can raise a family. So it's very important that what we are doing as couples, as husband and wife, it's something that is not just for ourselves alone, for the mental health of our children, even our own mental health. It's very, very important that we get this done so that we'll be able to achieve this. So to say, we'll be rounding up in a few seconds. Thank God for all what we've experienced. Thank God for all what we have learned all through Timeout with Counselor Debby throughout this year. If there's something particular you have learned during this our session, if there's something that you have practiced, if there's something you have taken and you have put it to work and is working, please share your testimony with us. This gives us an edge to keep coming and coming. This year 2025, we hope to get sponsorship. We hope to get people to come advertise their products on air so that this program will keep on air, so that you and I will keep enjoying the benefits of all the teachings we are bringing. We need sponsorship, we need advert so that this program will keep being aired, because everything that we do entails money. So when we get sponsorship, we get help to keep coming around to share all of these with you. Thank you so much, because I know 2025 is going to be a great year for every one of us. Make a vision for your family. Make it plain. Talk about it. What are the things you need to begin to put in place for 2025? You may not have done it right in 2024. You can't also change what has happened, but you have all the authority, you have all the privilege by the decisions you make today to give yourself a beautiful future. So make that good decision. Be intentional. Make decisions backed up with actions, with steps to take. It is said that nobody moves forward sitting down. You will never move forward sitting down. Everybody moves forward by taking steps. So is that high time we began to take steps and we begin to take into consideration what will make my family better, what will make my home more peaceful, more joyful, in harmony, in unity, so that 2025 will be a colorful year for every one of us. And I also want to give opportunity, if there are any areas you want us to discuss, if there are any issues you want us to come on here to talk about for 2025, you can DMS us, tell us what you want us to talk about, and we'll do our research, we'll do our work, and we'll come by God's grace to come back in 2025 to make a more glorious program. And before then, I say, see you in 2025. Happy New Year in advance, because the Christmas was a beautiful celebration for you and I. And the same God that's given us a beautiful celebration in Christmas, that same God is going to help us to enter into 2025 in a glorious way. And anything that you are desiring before this year comes to an end, we trust God that is a omnipotent God, is a powerful God. He will help us to reach our goal and to achieve our vision. Thank you for always staying tuned. Thank you. This is your favorite host, Timeout with Counselor Debby. See you next year. See you 2025. Bye for now. God bless you.
What happens when the road gets rough? Join Counselor Debby as she takes you through a time out with couples, families, friends concerning the hearts of